Hey, what's up, everybody? Gonna do a classic rock reaction, man. This is an artist spotlight. It's an artist spotlight featuring a really fantastic guitarist, Martin Barre. He is from Jethro Tull, and he is behind the great electric signature sound of Jethro Tull. You know, without his presence, they would probably be more probably on the side of maybe a folk band rather than a rock band. So his presence, probably along with the drummer, really contributes to their great rock signature sound, their hard rock signature sound. So, man, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a back-to-back format with this quad, starting with Pibroch medley, followed by Protect and Survive, Thick as a Brick, and Song for Jeffrey. And then we're going to follow up with Martin Barre interview. So it'll be really interesting to hear what he's got to say. Before I pop this off, just want to give a shout out and a thanks to Don D. Don, thanks very much for the recommendation, and apologies for me being almost 2 weeks late with this reaction, man. Life has been hard. So Don says, okay, STB, here's a quad focusing on the great Martin Barre. Ian Anderson gets all the attention in Tull, obviously, but the truth of the matter is that guitarist Martin Barre is just as important to the Tull sound. He replaced Tony Iommi in late '68 and stayed for more than 40 years. His contribution cannot be overstated. He is the one that puts the rock into the band and transforms what might have been otherwise an Ian Anderson folk act into the great progressive rock band they became. Absolutely. These are all solo versions of Tull songs. Enjoy. All solos. I wonder if they're all live. So we'll check that out too. I hope they are. And then he says further on about the interview here. Here's a short clip of Martin talking. You might want to add. Up to you. He's wrong, by the way, when he references Zeppelin 2. It would have been Zeppelin 4, actually. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. All right, man. Thank you, Don. Let's hit this up, man. So, we're going to go all the way through in a back-to-back, including the interview at the last part. And then, being an artist spotlight, we'll focus more on his bio information than anything else, okay? It looks like these are live. The first one, Pibroch instrumental, it's live in Hamburg in '82. All right, man. So, a straight 5 featuring Martin Barre. Let's get it. Cheers. Here's to the great unsung heroes that contributes so much to a signature sound. You know what immediately came to my mind? I don't know why. Could you imagine if he had paired up with Frank Zappa? Oh my God. There's no amount of money I wouldn't pay. This would be a really great backdrop to an incredible battle or something, wouldn't it? That's what I'm visualizing. You know why they're applauding so damn hard? It's because this guy's in a group of guitarists that can make that thing talk to you. Didn't you feel that vibe? I felt that one. That was excellent. Protect and survive. I can almost visualize Ian doing his little, what do you call those steps? That was nice. And this is thick as a brick. Something special about old rockers still being able to do it. Got a more savory essence.
Shadows on the water as the sun plays on the infantry returning from the sea. The doer and the thinker, no allowance for the other as the flaming light illuminates the mercenaries' creed. The whole fire burning, the candle almost boiling, but the master of the houses are in
I wish we could see a shot of the crowd. I have a feeling they'd really be very enthused. Great smiles on their faces. This is what I call a great evening out. If we ever hung out, this is what we'd be doing. Get something to eat, a couple of cool drinks, and catch a really cool concert like this. That's my idea of fun. Alright, that was awesome. Song for Jeffrey.
See where I'm going. I've ceased to see where I'm going to. I don't want to. cease to see where I'm going to. I don't want to.
It smiles. He's pleased. Masterclass. It's a long time since we had a masterclass.
Aqualung. How old was I when I played that first? I probably can't remember, but I would say 1971. So anybody who'd like to deduct from 71, 46 will have the answer. It was a very troubled album, making Aqualung. So it was a bit of a jumble. We had a really hard time in the studio. There's a lot of tension, a lot of stress. We didn't think it was going to be a good album because of all the stress that was going on. There was equipment failures, and then we're having quite a lot of problems trying to get really good takes of all the music. But it just came out that way. Nobody really realised what it was going to do to us. I mean, particularly in America. But when we were recording Aqualung, I mean, in those days, you probably had one or two goes to do a solo, and if you didn't get it, the guitar solo became a flute solo. So you had to get in there quick. But I was doing my first take, and Led Zeppelin were doing Led Zeppelin 2, the second album, in the studio below. And we hadn't seen them. They'd been buried down there for weeks and weeks. And in the middle of the solo, Jimmy Page came up, and he was in the control room. He was going, waving to me, and I just thought, if I wave back, I'm going to blow my solo. So I just sort of turned around and carried on and ignored him. We had no anticipation of what was going to happen with Aqualung as an album. I think everything was snowballing. We were doing huge tours. We were in the studio, out the studio. It was like a roller coaster ride, so that there was no sitting down planning, this is the music we should be doing, this is where we're going to go in our careers. I think Aqualung was the first album where Ian consciously introduced acoustic music with rock riffs, and that was a formula that was going to become really important in the latter years. But we just spent 3 months in the studio, and you never know what's going to come out.
Okay. Right. Aqualung is not a concept album. Yeah. Immediately, this makes me jump to Ford. I think Ford has a Jethro Tull offering for us next, and I'm pretty sure it's a concept album or a loose concept album, something like that. But I know that that's what I've got coming up for Ford in a few weeks. Okay, so back to the present. Hey man, that was a great look at an excellent musician, great guitarist, someone who came up from that period where that great creative bug was in the air, the Renaissance period of creativity that I call it. Paul McCartney calls it the creative bug in the air. And I really love hearing the stories about these guys, what they were going through, what they had to put themselves through to get the sound, to get the music to us, the music that we take for granted, the music that was part of your growing up, part of your pedigree. And it's great, hearing about Jimmy Page coming up and waving and everything like that, and how close everyone was, how they rubbed shoulders, they were in each other's creative space, in each other's creative arc, overlapping, influencing each other. I love that. That is one of the great fabrics of the creative Renaissance, and going into my daydreaming state, I always fantasize about creating another Renaissance period. Well, to do that successfully, of course, I would have run the scenario of, okay, 20 bands. Rock is your platform. You've got a bass, a guitar, drums, and a singer, right? Now create. Hang out with each other, overlap, influence each other. And then from there, we'll give you a platform like an Ed Sullivan American Bandstand, something like that, to showcase your talents, whether you're national, whether you're not, whether you're regional or whatever it is, but we're going to give you a national spotlight of opportunity, and hence creating another creative Renaissance. That's my biggest daydream so far about this whole thing. So, man, but these guys are a really good example, Jethro Tull, overall, of what you can create with just a couple of instruments and a great songwriter and a good singer as well, a great performer. But Martin Barre, being there, he puts the rock in Jethro Tull's signature sound. And yeah, man, his importance, like you said, Don, cannot be overstated in Jethro Tull. And without him, his presence, Jethro Tull would simply not be as big and as household and renowned as what they are. I promise not to rant about Rolling Stone not having them not inducting them. I promise not to rant about it being a travesty and a miscarriage of justice and what a bunch of buttheads they are. I promise not to go there. So let's focus on this man. Martin Barre. And, down the road later on, if we do another one, we'll focus on more song information, his more solo efforts and things like that. But I just want to focus on him at the moment. So this is a really nice long read, but it's an artist spotlight. So if you're here merely for entertainment value, leave now. Because now we're taking a deep dive into the fabric of what makes this man so great and what makes Jethro Tull so fantastic. If you're a surface level rock and roll fan, leave now. Here we go. Martin Barre. Martin Lancelot Barre, born the 17th of November 1946, is an English guitarist best known for his longtime role as lead guitarist of British rock band Jethro Tull, with whom he recorded and toured from 1968 until the band's initial dissolution in 2011. Barre played on all Jethro Tull studio discography except for their 1968 debut album. In the early 1990s, he began a solo career and has recorded several albums as well as touring with his own live band. Yeah, that's something that we'll probably get into down the road, his solo stuff. He has also played the flute and other instruments such as mandolin, both on stage for Jethro Tull and his own solo works. Early career. Barre was born in King's Heath, Birmingham, England on the 17th of November in 46. His father was an engineer who had wanted to play clarinet professionally. Barre played flute at his grammar school. When Barre bought his first guitar, his father gave him albums by Barney Kessel, Johnny Smith, and Wes Montgomery to broaden his musical perspectives. In college, he studied architecture at Lancashire Polytechnic's New Coventry University for 3 years. but did not complete his studies after failing Spanish and atomic science, subjects that he found to have little to do with designing buildings. After designing a road junction in Birmingham, England, he decided that a career in architecture was too boring and switched to music. In '66, he moved to London with his friend Chris Roger, who had played saxophone in their previous band, the Moonrakers. In London, Barre and Roger got an audition for a band called the Noblemen, who were looking for 2 saxophonists. Barre bought a tenor sax, and after 2 days of practice, was able to bluff his way through the audition. Damn, man, he's gifted. To play the sexy sax that well? The band subsequently changed its name to The Motivation, and back visiting soul artists such as the Coasters, the Drifters, and Lee Dorsey. The band evolved through several musical styles, from both soul to R&B to pop, and in '67 changed its name to the Penny Peeps. By this time, Barre was playing lead guitar. As the Penny Peeps, the band released 2 singles in '68, Little Man with a Stick, backed by Model Village, and I See the Morning, backed with Curly Knight of the Road. Finally, in mid-'68, they became a blues band named Gethsemane and played in pubs all over England, with Barre playing guitar and flute. When Gethsemane and the band Jethro Tull played at a blues club called the Van Dyke in Plymouth, the members of the 2 bands got acquainted. Then, 4 months later, while Gethsemane was playing in London and about to break up because of lack of money, Jethro Tull's manager Terry Ellis sent his card up from the audience asking Barre to audition for Jethro Tull. The audition did not go well. Barre was so nervous that he barely played, but he arranged a second audition. This time, he was offered the job. He spent the Christmas holidays of '68 learning material that was to become the album Stand Up. Great album. On the first album that Barre recorded with Tull, Stand Up, he said that he was terrified because I had just joined the band. It really showed a change in direction for the band, and when it was accepted and became a successful album, we gained a lot of confidence. We extended that confidence into the making of Benefit, in which we were a lot more at ease. On the next album, the world success Aqualung, Barre was more confident, stating that in the recording, quote, everybody, that being the band, had input into the making of the album, unquote. In the following period, his solos blended virtuosity with classical music such as Minstrel in the Gallery, where the opening track has a 4-minute solo, or his piece shared with Barry Barlow, Conundrum, and Quatrain on Bursting Out. Barre declared that much of the music material from Jethro Tull catalog was written by himself and Ian Anderson, with Anderson getting the credit for writing the lyrics and having the initial idea for the music. Quote, then I, or someone else in the band, contribute parts to it, unquote. I guess there was a lot of that going on, you know. As soon as the album, the tracks, the project, whatever it is, becomes successful, then all of a sudden people are piping up, hey, yeah, you know, I deserve a writing credit, I deserve this, and this, you know, whereas if it wasn't the case, it wouldn't be a big deal. Yeah. But hey, man, if he did rightfully contribute to it, definitely he deserves credit, of course, in the end. 2 albums on which Barre is credited with having contributed additional material, Songs from the Wood and Heavy Horses, are 2 of those which he has stated showed his best playing. Barre embraced the new Jethro Tull sound on the album Under Wraps in '84, despite its foregrounding of synthesizers and relegation of his own guitar work to the background. The album contains 2 tracks co-authored by him. On his work with Jethro Tull, Barre also stated, quote, I'm quite pleased with my playing on Crest of a Knave, which was basically me, Ian, and bassist Dave Pegg working in the studio for 2 months, so I had ample time to put a lot of myself into that album, unquote. He is credited on only another 2 Jethro Tull album tracks, Hot Mango Flesh from jtoll.com and Winter Snow Cape from the Jethro Tull Christmas album. Didn't somebody send me that? The Jethro Tull Christmas album. Or someone was saying to me that I should do a reaction to it. whoever that someone was, send me a damn link. You know, you guys always saying to me, do this, do this, do this, do this, and you don't send links. You guys, come on, man. You've known me for 3 years. You know that I don't react to anything if you don't send me links, right? I can't go running around looking for this, looking for that. You got to send me a link if you want a reaction. All right. Rant over. Concerning his contribution to Jethro Tull music, Barre stated, quote, "I've done bits and pieces on albums. Sometimes it's a riff, sometimes it's a little segment of music. I don't mind taking a small role in the writing and a larger input in the arrangement and playing," unquote. About the end of his involvement in Tull, Barre stated in 2015 that it's important that people realize there will never be a Jethro Tull again. There will be 2 solo bands, the Ian Anderson Band and the Martin Barre Band, and long may they exist, and long may they enjoy playing music. I'm not being pedantic. I always hate to hear, "Oh, you've left Jethro Tull." I haven't really. Ian wanted to finish Jethro Tull, wanted to stop the band completely. Okay, and there it is. When Anderson reunited Jethro Tull in 2017 for their 50th anniversary, Barre was not asked to return. Okay. In the end, creative differences. In the end, a couple of bruised egos. In the end, power play, control. This is my sandbox. All of that stuff fused into it all. Yeah, I get it, man. Solo works. On one track of 94's A Trick of Memory, Barre plays a guitar given to him by friend Mark Mancina. On the album, King Crimson alumni Mel Collins plays the sax, and Fairport Convention's Martin Alcock and Rick Saunders appear on a couple of tracks, and Andy Giddings plays Hammond organ. According to AllMusic, the dominant sound is Barre's guitar, soaring, crunching, grinding, or noodling gently, either blues or English folk tunes. To the reviewer, the album is a decent debut album. A Summer Band was released only in limited edition. That must have been the follow-up album called A Summer Band. In 2003, on his album Stage Left, Barre used an unusual electric guitar style shaped by folk, acoustic, and hard rock elements. It was his first album to be released in the US. In the album, Barre shows his style of playing with tricky and complicated melodies, being always elegant even when he's rocking hard, unquote. It doesn't say who quoted this. It must still be AllMusic. In 2012, with the end of Jethro Tull touring, Martin assembled a band to tour and record a compilation live titled Martin Barre. The lineup included former Tull members Jonathan Noyce and Doane Perry. Is it Doane? D-O-A-N-E? I'll say Doane, who split duties with drummer Fred Moreau, John Mitchell, and guitarist Pat O'May. In 2014, Barre announced that he would tour as an acoustic quartet, including Dan Crisp and Alan Bray, to promote Away with Words, which was well received by the Prog magazine, saying that in the album, Barre has taken an imaginative approach to his own past by readdressing many of his favorite, often more obscure, nuggets from Lowell's sick, vast cache, chiefly on acoustic guitar. Man, the complex vocab of being a damn critic. You gotta have a complex vocab to be a critic. I would suck at being a critic. Later in 2014, a new album was announced to be released that September called Order of Play, which was a louder electric record. Barre announced his 6th solo album in 2015 called Back to Steel. Barre says the album is a blues rock recording. It was followed by Roads Less Traveled in 2018. He's been busy, been very busy. Holy cow. Yeah, his bio goes on and on and on here. Let's read the last bit of it. We'll read the last 2 paragraphs. Yeah, so a whole bunch of reviewers giving their take on him. Looks like all high praise. So recognition. Barre's best-known guitar work includes that on the songs Aqualung, Cross-Eyed Mary, and Locomotive Breath. His signature solo on the 71 Jethro Tull standard Aqualung was voted by readers of Guitar Player magazine as one of the top rock guitar solos of all time. Also in 2007, This solo was rated one of the 100 greatest guitar solos by Guitar World magazine. Authors Pete Brown and H.P. Newquist named Barre's Aqualung solo as the 25th best solo ever in the US and 20th best solo ever in the UK. Dire Straits leader Mark Knopfler, in a 2005 interview, called Barre's work with Ian Anderson magical. Joe Bonamassa cites Martin Barre as a direct influence, especially in the blues playing of the early albums. Other guitarists like Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, and Eric Johnson also cite Martin Barre as influences. Rush's Geddy Lee mentions the great guitar sounds of Martin Barre when remembering the album Thick as a Brick. Yes, I remember that reading Rush's bio, that they were really big fans of Jethro Tull, especially Geddy Lee, and named Jethro Tull, the whole band, as big inspirations towards their signature sound collectively. So yeah, fantastic, man. Look at all of these great, fantastic later generations of great guitarists and great musicians giving praise to the man. Isn't that awesome? Fantastic, man. That's what I'm talking about. I was also going to say too, just watching Martin perform on stage there at the Thick as a Brick thing, and just jamming and having a good time. It's really awesome that some of these old cats like Martin and Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page and all of these guys still have a platform. They can still perform, they can still jam, they can still create as much as they want, as little as they want, or not at all. Whatever the case may be, they have that option, they have that choice. Later in life, you know, being an old cat must feel really good. And knowing that you will still be liked, still be embraced, still be appreciated, you know what I mean, given props. That's fantastic, man. What else can you hope for, especially after being an old rocker for so many years, right? Of course, new generations are going to come along, not know who the hell you are, but that's okay, because some of those new generations are still going to discover you. Look at all of the millennials on YouTube right now that have reaction channels reacting to all of these great sounds for the first time, and you know, their eyes all big and bright, and you know, they can't believe the signature sound coming from a lot of these bands, you know. So it's a really cool thing. It's being passed along, and lads like Martin will never ever be forgotten. 500 years later, we're still going to be talking about his great contributions and the great signature sound of Jethro Tull, and that great creative bug, the creative renaissance that created and milled out so many of these fantastic artists from that period. I'm telling you guys, it's my most absolute favorite part about music overall in general, that creative period in the mid 60s to mid to late 70s, the creative renaissance. Damn, man, I'm telling you, that shit is the best. You know, that period of time that created all of this wonderful music, let me tell you. There are other moments, of course, but overall, that is it for me, man. I have not seen yet in my exploration on the classic rock platform and the beyond classic platform that takes me in all different directions. I haven't seen another area of music that has captured my focus and my adoration more than that period of time that Martin came out of, the creative renaissance period. Just loved it, man, and I loved the musicians that came out of that period. All right, so that concludes our look at the great Martin Barre. An excellent recommendation, Don, for an artist spotlight. And for sure, we can take a look at some more of his stuff down the road, man. Feel free. So, I've got some stuff coming up I got to get to, man, real quick. I'm, like I said, guys, I've been running late. I've been really busy, and I've been struggling. With, should I shut down one of these channels? What should I do? Should I take a couple of months off? What should I do? And this is all coming to me from, I've lost a couple of friends lately, some friends from the military. Veterans Day, not a good time for me at all, man. I took a day off. I shut the lights out. I shut everything down, and I just needed to just chill. I was not in the right emotional state to be talking to anyone, much less doing a reaction. So still recovering from all of that sort of thing. So it's a lot of stuff like that. Counselors calling me up. I still got to go through my PTSD stuff. And so, yeah, man, not a good time for me right now. So with all that said, though, I got to catch up. So Timothy, voiceover, John, Jack, got reactions. I got to catch up. Still running a week and a half late for those. So I've really got to get on it. And I still owe you guys a Led Zeppelin bootleg. I think it's Susan's recommendation. So yeah, lots to do, lots to catch up on. There was something else I was going to say along the course of the way about Jethro Tull. I mentioned Ford. I gave that person shit for not sending me a link for the Christmas album. There was something else though. Oh, it's gonna kill me when as soon as I turn this camera off, I know I'm gonna remember it. I can't remember, man. But anyway, I think that we just have a lot more Jethro Tull stuff to get to and to get through. Not exactly the Led Zeppelin treatment, but I really want to focus on them a little bit more. And I really got to get back to my unholy trinity. I've really dropped that. So I got to try and find room and space in my life to do that. But all the same, man, this was great. And I would really like to do a little bit more of Martin down the road. So thanks for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks a lot again, Don. And apologies once again for being late. So, man, that is it, y'all. Have a good one. Take care. Next time you see me will be tomorrow. And until then, and I'm not sure if it's Timothy's or Susan's. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, you'll see me tomorrow. So have a good one. Peace.